Hello, my love, and welcome. We are so glad you're here. You have landed in with us. And before we officially open this space together, just want to give you a sense of what to expect and help you get fully settled in to this time, into this space together. So this is really not a workshop. It's not a masterclass. This is really a ceremony, an initiation. This is your initiation into working with your menstrual cycles, with the cycles around us as the blueprint for your life. So we won't just be teaching during this time. We will actually be sitting in ceremony, in sacred space together. And we will be working together to weave a foundation and to weave a vision of what cyclical living can look like for you, and to really give you an experience of the medicine and the wisdom that is waiting both within you and all around you. So before we get all the way in, I want to introduce myself to those who haven't connected in with us before. My name is Martina. I am a certified nutrition consultant and I'm a holistic health coach for women. And I have a deep passion for bringing holistic health into cyclical patterns, reconnecting with our hormones, with our womb, and with the blueprint of our energy that lives in our body. So I really specialize in bringing nutrition and health into cyclical wisdom.
Beautiful, Martina. And I am Kayla, the other co-facilitator of this beautiful space. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm really excited to get into one of my favorite topics about cyclical living and just being in tune with the earth. Really quick to tell you about who I am. I'm a shadow work facilitator. Those are some big fancy words, and really what it means is I guide others through the liminal thresholds of becoming, right? So it's bridging light and dark qualities together and really working on integration, right? Who we were before and who we are becoming. That is where I sit. I sit with you in those dark liminal spaces. You know, think about the caterpillar to the butterfly, the mess that happens in between that. That's like where my expertise comes in. I also do a lot of moonwork ceremonies. Ceremony is something that's like so profoundly life-changing for me, but also just a massive passion of mine. So I just love to bring it here into this space. And yeah, I think that's all I want to share about who I am.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're about to open our ceremony space together. And before we do that, you may want to just pause and gather a couple of things to really set up your experience. You will want something to write with, some kind of journal or piece of paper for any reflections that come through. And I really encourage you to take a moment and make your space feel really nourishing and like it's holding you. So perhaps you light a candle. Perhaps you close and lock the door. Perhaps you power down your phone or put it on Do Not Disturb. Light some incense. Do something that feels grounding and sacred to you to really mark this time as special. We are entering an energetic container together, and the space that you're in is the first step in that process. And if you have any water or herbal tea that feels really supportive, you can grab that as well for our space. So I recommend you push pause, set up your space in a way that feels good, and then when you are ready, you can come back in with us, meet us here, and we will drop in together.
Thank you, Martina. So I just invite you with your candle lit and whatever is burning. And if you don't have anything burning, I invite you to breathe in this sacred smoke of Palo Santo. Really feel the shift in the space you've created just by carving out this time for you. Beginning to come into your breath. However that is for you, not through control, not through force. simply through being present in this moment. Maybe letting out even a couple sighs or sounds with your exhale. Letting some movement come through the body as you define your space, right? This is your space to be big, wide, messy, open, present. This isn't about knowing. This is about feeling your body. So placing a hand or both hands anywhere on your body in this moment that feels supportive, that feels nourishing, that feels inviting, that feels grounding. Really arriving into your space, into your body with your breath. So the longer you can make your exhale, the deeper and wider and more present you can be in this moment. Because anything that comes after this drop-in is only as deep as we arrive in this moment right now. So closing the eyes if they are not already, allowing your body to come into a moment of stillness, really feeling your tailbone against your seat or the floor, and breathing at this point. It can be helpful to place a hand on your tailbone just to ground yourself there, but really bring the breath and the mind down into the tailbone. And with each exhale, releasing any holding of the hips, the belly, the shoulders, the fingers, the eyes. Imagining you could almost breathe out of the tailbone with each exhale. And then with each new inhale, imagining you can breathe up through the earth, through the ground, into your tailbone, up your spine. Just a few breaths like that. Sighing it out, letting go. My invitation here is to either cultivate this beautiful stillness if it's feeling really good for you, or to subtly and slowly bring some movement into the hips by rolling the tailbone on the floor in a circle. Moving from the right hip to the left hip, just stirring the womb, the hips, the emotional body. This is the place we store emotions. This is the place we store our intuition, our knowing, our magic. So really stirring her awake. Slow breaths, slow circles. Maybe even allowing the heart to follow effortlessly, the shoulders to roll, the head and neck. Really feeling the undulation of the spine coming into the body, this body as it is right now. Noticing if it feels good or if there's some emotion coming up, just be with it. No right way to feel and move your body. And then when you get to the front, pause and reverse the circle that you just drew. Evening up the body, opening, receiving, stirring awake. Maybe even bringing some sound. Whatever sound wants to come through and up the body, creating space. And then just 1 or 2 more circles before finding once again that stillness where you're balanced between your right hip, your left hip, your front body, your back body. Can you soften into the backbone, into your vertebrae? Really feeling this line of energy from the earth through the tailbone, up the spine, awakening the heart, through the crown of the head and up into the sky above. Take about 3 breaths to really feel this line of energy from the earth through the body up into the sky. And then see if you can bring that line of energy from the sky down through the body, out into Mama Earth, Pachamama. Feeling your body as a bridge between known material, earth, and unknown, heaven, sky, unseen. Your body, a beautiful manifestation that lives between. Bowing the chin towards the chest, taking a moment to place a hand on the heart and just setting a beautiful intention for this time together. I offer you the intention of being open to what is ready to be known in this moment, what your body, what your cycles, what the earth would like you to know. Just being open to being a sensing, free, intuitive, wild human. Gently opening the eyes, bringing us into space together. I just want to take 3 breaths together here. Because even though we're not in the same space, when we start to slow down and connect with each other this way, we begin to feel each other. We begin to feel like we're not alone in the world, that we're both watching this at different times, sure, but in the same energetic space together. This is where timelessness begins to come into the picture, where everything is happening simultaneously. And we get to shift out of the more masculine into the more feminine. And that is just energetics. It is not gender specific. It is moving from linear and logical to sensing and receiving and receptivity. And this is what we're cultivating in this space together. So welcome. Martina.
During our opening of the space, I pulled us a card. And Kayla and I work with Oracle and Tarot cards as just a way to channel guidance and messages from our own souls, from the universe, from source. And it is just a really beautiful pathway of intention and connection. And I asked for a message for this ceremony, for this space, which means even though I pulled this card in this moment right now, whoever and whenever is connecting into this recording, this message is for you the moment that you hear it. It's the magical thing about ceremony. So I asked for a message to guide our time together. What is our anchoring energy for this experience? And we received the card Reclaim with our panther. And this is beautiful holographics, but you can see the crown on our panther's face and the word reclaim. This is the heart of our work. And this is the call that you've answered by being here today, by sitting in this space. Because what we have to share with you is not a teaching from me to you. This is a reclamation. This is a process of reclaiming what is already yours. Reclaiming means it already belongs to you. And cycles are yours. They are in your body, they are in your cells, they are in your world around you. And so when we reclaim, we simply remember. We come back to our truth that has been there all along. And that is truly the power of cycles. You're born with it, you live with it, and we get a moment now to reconnect to it.
I just love it. I think it's so perfect. I think there's this joy. I would really love to invite people to feel what it means to reclaim something, right? This is where we take, the beautiful intellectual understanding of something, and then we feel it in the body, and then we let that inform our life, right? So just in this moment, I would love to, both for Martina and I, to articulate what we're reclaiming, but also to give you some space and time to drop in, to feel it in the space where, say the word reclamation, feel it move through your body. Where does it live? For me, it lives in my womb. Absolutely like deep yoni pussy magic right there. It lives in like the cave of my womb, of my cervix, of the space where I would hold a baby if I was growing a baby. Right? There's something reclamating there for me. And so I'm just curious where you feel it, Martina, and then where you who is watching, like where you feel it, be very aware of that. This is a piece of your body that has a message, that knows it's here, knows what it wants to bring through. Even if we don't really know what it is yet, we can feel it in the body.
When you said the word cave, I just felt my whole being like, yes.
Yeah.
And I felt even this invitation into knowing. This is a message I really feel is for everyone watching. We reclaim not only our power, but our inner knowing, our ability to source our intuition and our wisdom from within, which is something that many of us have felt disconnected from for a long time. So as we move through this space together, we're reclaiming cycles, we're reclaiming our power, and we're reclaiming our intuition, our knowing, our wisdom that exists in our body.
Yeah, our joy, our vitality, our aliveness, right?
Our freaking
the womb
magic.
space. I know, our freaking magic. You can feel it in your body, whether you're a man or a woman or, somewhere in between, gender fluid. That's amazing. Like we all get to feel the reclamation of our bodies, right? These things are living. We are living. How often are we actually living though? This is what it means to reclaim something. It's to fuel that fire again, bring that magic into the body. This is just so beautiful to feel our bodies alive. So hail and welcome reclamation energy.
Reclamation. Shall we reclaim some cycles?
Let's do it. Let's reclaim our cycles.
Do it. Hold on to this feeling in your body wherever you felt it. Kayla and I felt it in our womb, but you can't do this wrong.
No, there's no wrong answer. Literally, your elbow could be the place you feel it, and I'm all for it. I want to know some elbow wisdom.
So hold that space as you listen, as we explore these themes, and notice where you feel an activation. Notice where you feel a pull, a buzz, an opening, a tightening, grief,
fear,
understanding, fear. Notice where you feel it. That is part of the reclamation process.
Yeah. Because it's not just joyful. It's not just light. There's a reason it's not on, and that's the shadow. That's the stuff we have to process to move through.
So when we explore these cycles, we really can think of cycles in these different layers that all weave together. There is the cycle of the body, of the womb space. And then there's outer cycles all around us. And today we're going to explore and embody all of them and feel what it feels like to hold the thread of cycles and on cycles, on cycles. So starting in our bodies, whether you have a womb or not, whether you bleed or not, your body is cyclical. Your DNA remembers the cycles. For all of human history, we have lived in cycles with our bodies, with the moon, with the sun, with the seasons. It has been baked into our vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And many of our modern lives have left us disconnected from that. We are expected to show up the same way every single day, no matter what our body's doing, no matter what the earth seasons are doing. That pressure depletes us and leads us into burnout cycles because it is not how we were designed to live. When we look at the earth, nothing operates in that way. Nothing is on the exact same way every single day. Even the sun moves through cycles, changes times, changes rhythms. So part of this reclamation process is actually opening up to permissioning, to honoring what's already existing in your body, which is some parts of our cycles have different strengths and have different challenges than others. And when we really understand and work with that, we unlock a whole new level of flow and of energy. Because when I speak about cycles to women, I often hear about the days we bleed, right? How is your cycle? Oh, I bleed on these days. I track my cycle by entering the days I bleed into an app. The focus is on the bleed. And the bleed is powerful. The bleed is a portal. And the bleed is only one part of a greater cycle. There are 4 distinct phases that happen in our bodies. And when we only zoom in on the days that we bleed, we are losing some of the magic, the momentum, the power, the wisdom of the other cycles. So before we even talk about the cycles, I want us to feel them in our bodies for just a moment. So if you can, close down your eyes, come back into your breath. We're going to take 3 breaths together, and every exhale is going to drop us down a little bit lower until we land deep in our womb. You can feel this as an elevator. You can feel this as a rope lowering your awareness down through your central channel. Inhaling together. Exhale, dropping down a little bit more. Inhaling together. Exhaling, dropping down a little bit more. Inhaling, and this time on your exhale, drop all the way down into your womb, into your cave, into your deep core. I want you to imagine that this space is dark. Dark like the darkest night sky. And this darkness feels warm and safe and earthy and limitless. And as you become aware of the darkness, you begin to see a sliver of the moon deep in your body, tiniest little crescent beginning to emerge. And as you watch, that moon begins to grow inch by glowing inch until it becomes half full, shining light into your womb space. Continuing to grow in light and in shape, seeping brightness into your body, illuminating your surroundings, until your womb becomes the full moon. A glowing circle of moonlight, cool and clear. Feel your womb as the full moon. As that light seeps into your cells, you watch as the light begins to slowly shrink in size and shape until the full moon is a crescent, growing down, pulling away its light and its size until it is back to a sliver of light. And on your next exhale, your womb is once again settled into darkness, stillness, limitless. Feel your womb as the new moon, as the darkness, as the cave. When you feel ready, you can slowly begin to let some light into your eyes, coming back into our shared space. This would be a beautiful time to pause and grab your journal and just jot down, what did your body feel like as the full moon? What colors or sensations or words or parts of your body felt activated? And how did your body feel as the dark moon? And jotting down a few words can really bring some illumination into what's living in your cycles right now. Because your womb goes through the same 4 cycles as the moon, as the earth's seasons. We have an inner winter when we bleed. We have an inner spring when our hormones and our energy begins to rise. We have an inner summer when we ovulate. We have an inner fall in our luteal phase as our progesterone takes the stage and our lining begins to thicken to prepare for winter again. That is the rhythm. And it is no accident that it mirrors our moon. And it is no accident that it mirrors our seasons.
I would just love to invite in that writing down of how you felt during each phase that she guided you through. Also, just what kind of emotions came up, what you saw, what you felt, even if you don't remember the exact phase she was describing, but just what that journey of starting in darkness, growing in light, being in fullness, and then descending back into stillness, liminal space, softness, quietness. What that felt like as a journey for you. Because this is what I think is the quintessential wisdom of cycle work. Change is the only constant in life. And when we push against change, we push against everything else in our life. We're fighting, we're, in resistance, we're in tension, we're running, we're fawning, we're freezing, but if we can be with the whole cycle and we can learn to trust the cycle, the ebb, the flow, the coming of light, the coming of darkness, back into light, back into darkness. We learn to trust that there's nothing to brace against. And to me, that's like the biggest blessing of cycle work. Even if you don't bleed, even if you don't have a womb, even if you don't really connect with a felt sensation of cycles in your body, change is constant and you can connect to that. And that's what cycle work is. It brings us into the trust of life, the trust of the unknown, the trust of what's to come without needing to force it or kind of grasp and hold on to something. So I just would really love to just tie that up with that feeling of like, this is what cycle work is about. It's learning to trust and open and step into life from an easeful, open, trusting space. Thanks for
And if
that,
you
beautiful.
do bleed in your body, if you have menstrual cycles or you ever have in the past, this is not symbolic or theoretical. This is a lived reality for the way your body functions. Your brain matter shifts up to 25% at different times of your cycle. Your metabolism is completely different. Your digestion, your energy, your communication skills, your like blood sugar regulation, everything is shifting with your hormones. So if you ever feel like I'm not the same person every day, what's wrong with me? I can't stay consistent. I'm on fire one week and on the couch the next. This is your blueprint for actually embracing the incredible complexity and power that comes with cycles. Nature cannot be in bloom all the time. And our world expects us to be a certain way every day, the same way. And that is actually a beautiful mirror of the male hormonal system. Men run on a 24-hour hormonal cycle. They actually are quite the same one day to the next at the same times of day. That is how our world is built. That is not how feminine energy operates. Right. And when we reclaim the power of that, everything can shift. Kayla, can you speak a few words about your relationship with your cycles before really coming into this work and this wisdom? How did you feel about your cycles or about the moon in general?
Well, the moon was really something that I've been connected to since I was a young girl. So I was always fascinated by like being able to see her and then some days not being able to see her, or like looking at her in the sky one day and thinking she'd be there the next, but then she's over there, like, because she just has these weird cycles. And growing up I was in a very conservative, very religious household. And so I was actually quite dissociated from this body and from cycle work in general. And it took a long time for me to open myself back up to being in this body and actually tracking my cycles. And I actually just thought it was like a nuisance. Mm-hmm. It was like every month I just like put tampons in and then like go on with my life, and then, I may be moody a couple days leading up and I may be experiencing some pain, but whatever, like they're just a couple days and I'll just get through it. Yeah. And like my life since then has completely shifted. There's no shame in like wanting to bleed. There's no shame in carrying tampons around. There's no shame in like carving out and telling people that, I'm not really meeting with anybody this week because I'm bleeding. And I don't care that like that makes you uncomfortable to hear. Like there's no more reservation inside of me about what this body is and how she feels on any given day. I'm just like, wow, what a gift to like step into the new day, the new sensation as this sensing alive body. And it feels just so much more open and fun. And it's not always like painless, but It's definitely more expansive, and I feel my world has gotten bigger because I've embraced myself
Mm.
and I've stopped taking responsibility for how other people feel about the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we're able to layer the beautiful boundaries, the personal understanding, the intentionality with the actual nourishment, the
Mm-hmm.
ritual of feeding our body every single day with actually what we need on that day. There are some points in our cycle where we
Yeah.
need tons of fresh fruits and vegetables and juice and energizing light foods. There are other points where we need the grounded, earthy, nourishing proteins and minerals. When we know what our body needs, we actually move with so much greater energy and ease. And I would love to invite you to pause for a moment and write down in your journal, how do you feel about your body's cycles right now, today? And if you're not bleeding, these could just be your energy cycles, your cycles of moods and motivation and connection. And if you bleed, think about your menstrual cycle. What words come up when you think about your relationship with your cycles?
Yeah, and for those who don't bleed, who are either in perimenopause or menopause or just haven't bled in general, I invite you to think about each season and how you feel about each season of the year. How does winter feel for you? Do you love winter? Do you hate winter? Right? Like, what are your feelings about each season? Because these are telling too. Yeah, beautiful.
So before we begin to pull all these threads together and close out our time, Kayla, can you orient us for just a moment into the seasonal threshold of the cycles that are happening around us right now?
Yeah, so we just moved into Lamas or Lunasa, which is the first like whispers of autumn, right? The autumn equinox is just maybe a month or so away. I don't have a calendar to look at right away, but it's approaching. So we are building up to this beautiful fall energy where things are really going to start to change. Things are really going to just drop like leaves, right? There's going to be lots of beautiful storms and lots of weather patterns and stuff, and that's internally true too, right? Whether you're ovulating or the moon is wherever it is, it doesn't matter because we're in this bigger cycle of release. Really, this is a cycle of release. We're preparing for the winter ahead. We're preparing for the stillness, for the going inward and resting and dreaming, right? We're not there yet. We're in the activity of cultivating like what has worked so far this year, what has been great, what has been not so great. What am I angry about? What am I resentful towards? Where am I losing power? Where am I losing myself, right? Coming into some clarity here and then getting really clear on what petals, what leaves, what debris kind of needs to get shaken off, right? Like a tree. I just imagine a tree like sighing and just like all of its leaves are gone. We're also in this wider cycle with autumn called the year. And the year has a theme. And this year, it's the year of the snake. And if we think about the snake, what do we think of? We think of this like very auspicious, like maybe even like evil creature, which it's not evil, but like it's got a little bit of like dark sensuality to it. But it also like slithers out of its skin, right? And it slithers into a new skin effortlessly. So this is where we are at. The year of the snake and autumn are actually mirroring each other so well that it may even get so intense about what is ready to be released in your life, because this is the culmination of transformation in our year this year. We are looking to transform from the inside out, not forcing control out there, but releasing what we're ready to release here. So just feeling in for a moment. If you were to imagine yourself as a snake, just slithering along with its beautiful skin. Healthy snakes actually shed their skin in one piece. Can you imagine shedding your entire life as you know it? Up in who you are, all that you know. It doesn't mean the snake is changing. It doesn't mean everything in the snake's life is changing, but just the things that aren't working. This is what the snake leaves behind. So just feel, can your snake shed your skin, her skin, effortlessly? Or does it take time? Does it peel off? There's no judgment. This is just a experiential feel into what shedding feels like for you in this moment. And this is something to really invite into the next maybe couple months of your life, to really work with, how do I let go? With ease, with trust, with joy, with devotion, instead of fear, gripping, holding, hissing, thrashing, right? So just feel that for yourself. Let that land. This is where we are. This is a very energetic time for us. It's not passive. It's not a passive thing to let go. It's an engaged thing. It's a reclamation of our life force energy. What are we actively choosing to hold on to? And what are we actively choosing to set down, to let go? So that is the energetic, wider field of where we are in this cycle.
And this is why Kayla and I really wanted to drop into space in this moment in time with you, because autumn is such a powerful portal of shedding and release. And within the year of the snake, it's a really beautiful opportunity here for a reclamation and for a transformation. And if we're not aware of and intentional with these cycles, it's easy to be on autopilot in a way where we work against our flow of energy that leaves us depleted and leaves us burned out and disconnected. And the cycles are the way back home. They really are. It helps us understand, contextualize, and work with what's real, what's here. It's really the way in.
It is, yeah.
So I would love to invite everyone to close your eyes for just one last moment here. And really feeling from your heart or your womb space, what would change in your life if you truly felt connected to and supported by cycles, by your body, by the seasons, by the moon? What would that unlock for you? You can let the answer bubble up, perhaps in a feeling or a word or an image. How would it feel in your life to truly feel connected to your body's wisdom, to work with your flow, to be in energetic alignment inside and outside? Notice any layers of resistance that come up about why it's not possible for you, about the things standing in your way. And meet them with love and understanding while holding that vision, that feeling of what's waiting on the other side of this reclamation.
all of that stuff that you named, while Martina was speaking about what's in the way, these are the things to work on letting go of over the next 2 months. Some of them will be really easy. Some of them are like, damn, I just gotta stop doing that one thing. Some of it's gonna be really rooted, and you're gonna be really tender, and it's gonna be stubborn roots, right? Be gentle. This is a process. But there is a you on the other side of this skin, and it's the essential you. You are not changing. Just the external experience is changing. But you, as you know yourself, not your ego, but you as a soul, you as a being, you as a heart, you as a consciousness, is not changing. You're just actually getting closer and closer to who you really are, and the ferocity and the fearlessness to live that in the world, in whatever way is calling you. And there is fear, there is excitement, there is tension, but that's part of the process. And to truly reclaim something is to come home to yourself again. That's it. It's just coming home, remembering who you really are and expressing that without apology, without filter, open and fearless, simply you.
So let's take a deep breath and just notice what you're feeling right now. Maybe through this ceremony, this exploration, you felt some of that reclamation fire spark to life. Maybe you felt some remembrance, some ease. Maybe you felt some grief. This ceremony is just the first step in a lifelong journey. One step back into our cycle wisdom, and this path is not meant to be walked alone, and it's not meant to be watched once and then put on the shelf. This is an ongoing journey that deepens every single cycle. And because of that, we want to take a moment together in the space to tell you about Lunar Living, which is our 4-week ceremonial immersion where we walk together through an entire moon cycle. Every week, we meet in live ceremony. We deepen into embodied practices that are in the medicine of the moon phase we're in. And we weave your menstrual phase wisdom into every single step. So you actually learn how, in a sisterhood, in a sacred sisterhood, you learn how to hold the threads of the moon and the womb together, so that you can walk in this flow, in this magic, in this aliveness, and in this power. So it's really about being in a full lunar cycle together and having the lived experience of being deeply connected to our cycles. And that doesn't happen on our own, which is why this sisterhood is so important. So enrollment is now open for Lunar Living. We are welcoming you into this space, and we start under the Scorpio new moon, deep in the autumn portal, and walk through this shedding, this stirring of the magic in this season of the earth together under the Scorpio moon.
Yeah, the Scorpio moon is my favorite. So this is my favorite time of year. I'm super excited to hold this space, actually, because it's going to be really magical. It's going to be shadowy. It's not just, 4 weeks of ceremony and stuff. Like, this is real soul retrieval, soul work, like really deep but really fun, stirring of the magic, stirring of your essence, stirring of the places that you've kind of tamped down, right? What is trying to be reclaimed, reborn, re-stirred up in your life? Like, this is my favorite part of the phase, because we get to really go to the depths. We get to kind of like sit in the gross ick of it all, the shadow, but then we get to mine for the beauty, the magic that exists down there, and we get to bring that back up. We get to dust it off. We get to clear it of the muck, of the shame, of the grief, right? Anything that's been holding you down from expressing, from being, in your magic, whatever your magic is in this world, Scorpio season is the time. We will be moving through the Scorpio new moon, which will lead us through Samhain, which is a portal of death and rebirth. So we will be in that portal together, not just alone. Like, we are at the threshold of turning, of becoming, and we get to do it as a beautiful group. And I'm just excited for the magic that's going to be there. Yeah.
So what it's going to look like for you when you step into lunar living is we have these weekly ceremonies, but we also bring it into our daily rituals in a way that ceremonies on their own don't always get to do. You may have a deep practice already, working with the moon or sitting in circles, and that's so beautiful. And lunar living is now the deepening of that into, how am I fueling this vessel? How is my food part of this ritual of living in cycles? What do my hormones, my energy, my cells need at each point of the month, of the year? And how can I actually bring this into daily devotional practice? So Kayla and I get to weave our magic together of this sacred sisterhood, of the embodiment and the deep rebirth work with the ritual, nutrition, embodied nourishment. It's so, so beautiful to see the shifts. I see this as our path back to our aliveness, truly.
Yeah.
Path back to our aliveness. If you have been feeling a little bit just burned out, summer's left you a little crispy, and you're just like running on the fumes of the way you want to be living, and it just feels so hard to reconnect in the way you're craving, this is the path back to your magic and to your aliveness. It's happening in Scorpio season. It's happening this fall. And we'll be sharing all the details with you so you can read more, connect in with us, and save your spot for lunar living. It's going to be so beautiful.
It's going to be great.
So before we close this space, I want you to pause with your journal one last time. You are sitting in the portal of this energy with us. What has come up that is ready to be shed? What is your skin that is just itching to come off? Write it down. And then feel into what that is creating space for. What are you opening to in the shedding? Capture it now while you're still in this moment with us. And whether you continue with us inside of lunar living or you just simply carry this seed, this reclamation in your womb, in your heart, just know that your body remembers the magic and that you are meant to live this way. Your rhythm is waiting for you to reclaim it. So if you feel the call, we would be so honored to walk beside you. And before we close, we're going to lock in this medicine with a little bit of movement.
Just a little bit of movement. So in lunar living, we actually do a lot of somatic practices, movement being a big part of that. But this song is called Let the Rhythm Just. So my invitation is to let your rhythm just move you. It doesn't need to look like anything. I really want you to feel your womb, your heart, your grief, your joy, all in the same vessel. So really just be here for whatever this is. Let me know if you can hear it. Dope. Let the rhythm just get funky. Let the rhythm. Feel how alive your body is when you move it, when you breathe. Placing a hand on your heart or your womb, giving so much gratitude to it for showing and naming and feeling truth. This is what being in tune with your body is, the cycles. It's remembering the vitality of life, even in the dark, even in the muck. Being so present, so here, so alive. Thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you under the Scorpio new moon.